When we returned to my home after these runs, I was always tired and ready for a big drink and a good nap. Tyler would hand my leash to Mona, and she'd usually take me to rest on a bed with one of my friends. Lie still, she'd say, lie still. Sometimes I wondered if she'd forgotten that my name was Toby and decided to call me Lie Still instead. Tyler came to visit other times too, not just in the morning for our runs. One afternoon, Mona saw him come in the front door. She had me on my leash, and she and I went up to greet him. I sniffed his shoes, but they were not the admirably smelly ones he wore when we ran. I was still glad to see him, though, so I jumped up and put my paws on his knees to tell him so. "Are you going to visit your grandfather?" Mona asked. "Could Toby practice lie still with him?" "I'm sure he'd love that," Tyler said, scratching behind my ears. I knew the word love, but it was funny how sad Tyler's voice sounded when he said it. Love was not a sad word. "Okay, come on, Toby," Mona said. "Come with us." I knew come, too, so I followed her down the hall to Granddad's room. I was glad to see him, so I leaped up on the bed and put my paws on the book he was reading so that I could lick his chin. "No, Toby," Mona said. "Lie still." "That again?" I sat down and wagged my tail, looking at her hopefully to see if this would please her. She was standing next to Tyler. She sighed. That morning, Tyler and I had been on a good long run, and I'd had a marvelous game of You Can't Catch Me with my mother. Whenever I saw Tyler, I thought about running to the ranch, and that made me think of taking a nap. I'd taken a nap next to Dorothy after our run this morning. When I woke up, Mona had told me, "Good dog, Toby. Good lie still." Now on Granddad's bed, I tilted my head to look up at Mona in puzzlement. Was I a good dog for napping? Napping did not seem like my other tricks. It was not like sit or down or shake. It was just napping because I was sleepy. But Mona said I was a good dog when I napped. Other times I was not always a good dog, but every time I napped after a run, I was. Was that lie still? I wasn't very sleepy now, but it seemed to make Mona so happy when I just lay there. Lie still. Maybe, even though I wasn't tired, I'd pretend to take a nap. Maybe that would make Mona happy. I curled up next to Granddad's side. The warmth of his body felt good next to mine. I even sighed without thinking about it, just as I often did when I was ready for a nap. "Oh, good boy, Toby," Mona said. "Don't move, Granddad," Tyler said. "Good, Toby. Good lie still," Mona praised. She was happy. I was a good dog. I wagged the very tip of my tail just so that she would know I'd heard her. I knew that what lie still meant now. Mona came to the bed and stroked her hand along my back, telling me over and over that I was a good boy, that I was doing a good lie still. Tyler came and petted me too, which was very nice. 2 hands rubbing my back made me wiggle with delight, but when I remembered that lie still meant pretend napping, and I forced myself to be quiet again. "Mona, you did it! He's got it!" Tyler was grinning. "You're a great dog trainer." He picked up his hand from my back. He reached to put it on my head again, but Mona's hand was already there. Tyler left his hand on Mona's. They both stopped petting me until I picked up my head and looked at them with a bit of reproach in my eyes. Wasn't I doing a good lie still? Wasn't this what they both wanted? Why had they stopped telling me what a good dog I was? They remembered then and petted me some more. Sometimes people just needed reminding. Okay, and that's the end of chapter 14.